From17 once again, introducing you to my Halo 4 Legendary Difficulty video walkthrough. This is part 3 of Infinity, and we are driving a Scorpion tank. So this level is very vehicle oriented, and the vehicles are exceptionally heavy, hard to kill, and put a large amount of damage out there. So I don't really need to talk you through the skills of, strafing in a tank and shooting with your giant cannon. So I'm going to continue the topic that I was speaking about in the previous video, and that was Assassin's Creed 3. So I mentioned how I was pretty burnt out on Assassin's Creed. I liked the first game. I thought the second game was amazing. I thought the second game did what the first game should have done. It was a much more cohesive package. And then they released Brotherhood and Revelations too close together for my taste. They should have took a 2 to 3 year gap. Obviously, Ubisoft wants to do what Activision's doing, and that is making a lot of fucking money. So they decided to annualize the series, and through that annualization I got extremely tired of the game's mechanics, much more quicker than I would have if there had been a break between them. So I was not really looking forward to the next Assassin's Creed at all. It was announced what time period it had go in, and we got the first gameplays, and don't get me wrong, it looks cool, it looks like a good game, but it also looks a hell of a lot like Assassin's Creed, and we're on like game 5 now, and it needs to do something different, and I can't wait to play it. I've got it on my rental list, but there was no way in hell I was going to buy it, because it just looks too similar to the older games, and I'm not excited for playing another one of those games. It has to be different enough that it feels like a progression, because if it doesn't, I can't switch my brain off for that type of game like I can a first-person shooter, and unfortunately I don't enjoy playing it. A lot of people have been asking for a 100% sync guide to the game, and I'm going to say what I said to those people on those messages. Assassin's Creed intrinsically is not difficult. The components of the game are very simple. The problem with it is it's picky. And what I mean by picky is you will never generally die because of difficulty in an Assassin's Creed. You'll die because the game is picky, and it's always been picky, even from day one. And what I mean by this is the new guy's called Connor, I believe, and for instance you'll probably be on a rooftop. This is just a prediction, but I'm guessing it's still there. You'll mean to hop to the next rooftop, and your character will drop down, you'll fall to your death, you'll alert everybody, and you'll fail. Or it'll happen in the reverse. You mean to drop down, you'll jump to another roof, you'll end up bumping into a guy, and you'll fail. That's not difficult, that's just finicky, and that is pretty much what Assassin's Creed is. And the biggest problem with any project like that is it is so long, the game itself, that it is a massive undertaking, and there is no way in hell I'm undertaking a project that long when I have already 3 existing projects. Actually it's 4, because somebody's told me of one I'm missing. 4 existing projects that need finishing, and in a week Black Ops 2 comes out. So there's no way in hell I would be undertaking something like that, and it's just too big, guys. It's too big for the effort I would need to put in, and there is absolutely no payoff in it. There really isn't. It's kind of like Darksiders 2. The game's a fun game, the guide is pretty fun too, but the game is easy, there's no incentive to play it on Nightmare, and nobody's using it. Nobody's looking for guides for that game, so nobody's watching. And I could put out maybe 2 guides in the space it takes me to make that walkthrough, and they'll do twice as good. It's like a value and a proposition thing, and it can be challenging at times, because I've always said I wanted to cover the projects I wanted to do. There's a couple ones that I'll cover because they need to be covered. This is one that needs to be covered, and it just so happens that I enjoyed it. But I'm not going to force myself to play bad games. I'm also not going to force myself to do something that's not worth my while, because I'm nearly 2 years on YouTube now, and I need to start doing things that benefit the channel as opposed to things that benefit my ego. And I say that because I need growth, and I need growth like any other challenge, and I am growing. It's just a case of maybe I need to tailor the things that I'm doing to a specific audience. And it does make you think when it comes to doing things on YouTube if morals is the right way to go, because the only thing that morals seem to do on this website is hold you back. And it's a funny thing to look at it like that, having some kind of principle to put out good work, to put out work that you believe in, and then to see somebody do very little work and get immediate rewards. It can definitely skew your perspective, and it can definitely make you want to change your formula. And me personally, I'll probably never change, but I see everything and I realise what people are doing. And I actually watched a video the other day that was on about a bit of Twitter drama, where somebody basically said that one guy made $20,000 off essentially re-uploading a trailer. And I know exactly what kind of mentality that is. I know exactly what kind of, uploader that is. It's somebody that's using the system. And the funny thing about it is YouTube is a system, because it's a business, and every business has a plan, every business has a formula, and every business can be exploited. It's all dependent on if you're willing to take the steps, that make that a successful enterprise for you. Enterprise, that's not a word. Enterprise, sorry. And that is literally what it is, guys. It's the difference between having a karma-free iPod that's had the components of it, not made in third world countries where they exploit children to dig for them and all that great stuff, and, not having the sales figures that those pieces of equipment have. That is the difference. And that's an extreme reference for something such as minimalist as YouTube, but if you're willing to do what is, can be viewed as cheap, what can be viewed as, view whoring tactics, you're going to do a lot better. That is just simple logic. And my chair is broken, so if you hear a noise there, that is me readjusting the height, because I felt like a dwarf just then. I was just sinking down like I'm in quicksand. And it's an interesting perspective to walk, because anybody can put a trailer up on YouTube and commentate over it enthusiastically. If anything, that is the most easy thing to do, because in trailers, by the sheer definition, are generally not much longer than 4 minutes, and if it's a game that you haven't played yet, how the hell can you be anything but enthusiastic? So, potentially, that video takes 4 minutes to make. 4 minutes to make that video. You render it, you upload it, excuse me, it's going to be small because it's only 4 minutes, so the render's quick. It's going to be a small file size, so the upload's going to be quick depending on your internet. And that video can then go on to make you $20,000 because the tags are good, so that it shows up a lot, so it can get viewed a lot, and it's a hot topic, so that a lot of people are searching, and, because of the aforementioned tags, you're the one being found. It's a genius idea. It's genius. It's like everything else. It's like what all the big YouTubers do with that. When they were doing the giveaways, when they were changing categories so that they could get to the front pages. Everything that these people are doing, folks, works. And it's making them money. And it's making them a lot of fucking money. And it's zero effort, 100% profit. And I don't know about y'all, but every single person I come into contact with outside of my social circle is the type of person that wants to do zero effort and have 100% profit. Because unfortunately, guys, the generation that I'm growing up in, that I'm a part of, hard work is something to be avoided. Hard work is something nobody is willing to do. Everybody wants that winning lottery ticket. Everybody wants, to go on the fucking X Factor and immediately change their ways in 30 seconds because they can sing. Everybody wants to feel special and wants to have that affirmation that, they're getting success. And we're not all destined for success. It sucks, but it's true. And it definitely begs the question, do you, break your back making something of high quality for it not to get seen? Or do you stoop to the measure of something extremely easy to manipulate to get maximum exposure? And it's a tightrope that a lot of YouTubers will face in their experience on this site, and it's a tightrope that is controversial, because some people will think, fuck all of that nonsense, stay true to yourself, stay true to your own pride, know, keep on doing your own thing. Other people won't. Other people will find it baffling that somebody doesn't, you know, sacrifice their own personal image to get maximum exposure. Because one thing I will say to anybody who's wanting to get on YouTube and wanting to get big on YouTube, even though I wouldn't consider myself big whatsoever, I just understand the mechanics to get big. And I understand a lot of the things that you've got to do. And the thing with it is if you're starting up with the intentions of getting big, chances are you'll never get big. Because that's just how it works. Irony and all that good stuff. But the biggest thing you can do to get maximum, you know, efficiency out of this is to not be yourself. Because people stay for character and personality, but a hell of a lot more people watch for something that they can relate with. And if you put forward a personality that is unpopular, or if you put forward an opinion that is controversial and easy to disagree with, sure, you're going to get, you know, a handful of extra exposure from the people that want to either prove you wrong or prove their own point, because a lot of people are single-minded and really like the sound of their own voice. Or, you know, you'll get less numbers because you've done something that someone disagrees with and they don't want to watch. And the only way to get around that is to be everything what everybody wants you to be. You need to be a social chameleon, and you have to be fake. You really do. And to some people, that is just, you know, that is just part of the job. That comes with the territory. That is exactly what they have to do. With other people, it's more difficult to do that because, you know, some people are honest. There are honest folk in the world, they're just rare. I do apologise if this tangent is blocking anyone's enjoyment of this section, but this is really easy. Just don't die, shoot lots of things. If the dropships come and they start shooting you, get out of the way or they will kill you very fast. They can be destroyed, they just take a pounding, and just moderate the heat on the gun. But I see lots of things on YouTube, you know, achievement videos, quick videos, stuff like that, and the relative views that they receive is definitely not, you know, in accordance to the work that was put in. But who are we to judge the amount of work that's put into anything? Because if you think about it, it's the universal argument about artwork. A piece of shit on a sheet of A4 can be a piece of art, and it can be a piece of art that some people will think is genius. Other people will just see a piece of shit. You can't say that's not art, because by the very nature of what art is, it's expression. And it's very subjective. And I do believe YouTube has a lot of that, because we are creating intellectual properties that are going out into a digital format, and that is artwork, that is art. Everybody's going to have a slightly different iteration and a different meaning on what they value with it, because like everything else, you know, everything in life is only as worthwhile as the value that we give it. And do I think that, you know, re-uploading a trailer is worthless, is not in the spirit of YouTube? Maybe. There are arguments to say that way, but do I think people shouldn't do it? No. Because a lot of people need that information, and a lot of people enjoy those videos, and nobody should be able to tell you what you can and can't do on a website that is purely designed to express yourself. There is a difference between doing something that I view as morally, you know, bankrupt, but you create your own morals in this world, so it's a circular argument. And I suppose you can't let it bother you, because as soon as you start letting it bother you, it'll get you bitter, and it'll affect your work, and it'll affect your craft. And I just find it really funny when people, you know, complain about the fairness of YouTube when they're extremely, you know, more comfortable than a lot of other channels that put in a lot more work than they do. Like, I've seen channels say how they bust their balls making one video a day. You know, one video a day that has absolutely no editing because there's still loading screens in it. You know, you've still got waiting periods as the timer counts into games and things. Just extremely poor jobs. And, you know, dragging a video onto a timeline does not count as editing, folks. it doesn't. Thanks for watching, and you take care now.